Buongiorno. How'd I do? Who's out there? How'd I do? I was terrible on my trip because we went from France to Italy, Italy to France, Italy to France, France. I never knew if I was saying oui or buongiorno or merci or grazie. It was terrible. So
You don't know the difference, that's all right.
I didn't know the difference either. I was a crazy American. Well, it's good to be back. It was a 36-hour flight home. And if you don't have to travel, don't do it. It's horrible right now. Nearly was arrested at Heathrow for vagrancy. So, I mean, the Billy Club and everything kind of thing. It was horrible. But I'll tell you more about it at another time.
Is it going to show up in your background check?
No, because they didn't. But it was it was a scary situation, and it was not my fault.
It never is.
No, the plane was late. It dropped us into a terminal that was closed. And apparently you're not allowed to be in closed terminals or sleep in them. So anyway, I heard somebody say, hey, your name's not on that agenda, and that's by design. I can only be here for about 10 minutes, and then I've got to run off to a dental appointment. I damaged a tooth the day before we left. So, got to go get that fixed. But I'm going to leave it in everybody's capable hands. Before I go, though, I want to take the opportunity to introduce to you two new staff members. Salvador Herrera, who many of you may have already met in the dining room. You know, God works in mysterious ways and the ways that he's supposed to work. And 2 days before I left for vacation, I interviewed Sal. Do you go by Sal or Salvador? I interviewed Sal for the chef's position. And the first day that I left, I got a call that said, Ileana's not going to be returning. And I went, bingo, here we go. There he is. So we're really fortunate that worked out like that, and I'm thrilled. Sal's got some great ideas already that we're going to talk about this afternoon, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to do with the dining program. So, great. And then the other, who is not brand new to us, is returning to us, is Mike Saucedo. And Mike was here in the AL and IL wellness program, and then had to leave because of a family emergency. And again, just a few days before I left, his resume popped up in our queue, and I went, I recognize that name. And we knew that Wylan was going to be leaving, so I called him right away, and he was like, yes, I want to be there. I want to come back, and I'm like, I want you back. So there you are. So we're happy about that. I'll let them tell you a little bit about themselves and their background. And with that, I also want to bring your attention to the lovely quilt that is here in the corner. I heard that some people in the casitas had not had the opportunity or did not know about it. So here is your opportunity. It was done by Hannah Kroll. Hannah, raise your hand. And Joyce Pfeiffer. Joyce is not here. Joyce, as many of you already know, was a home ec teacher for 40-some plus years, maybe even longer. So she was really our technical advisor, which meant that she was like, take those stitches out and redo them. And then I was recruited as the brawn of the bunch. So I did all the cutting, I cut out all the squares, and I did the overquilting. So the three of us are the Carlotta quilters. The Watermark company has graciously offered to meet all of our the funds that we raise up to $1,000. So every ticket that you buy will be matched by Watermark up to $1,000, and all the proceeds go to Watermark for Kids. We'll probably be doing the drawing in about a week or two, so get your tickets in. All right. Thank you very much. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Abby.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Hi everyone. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about COVID updates today. I believe we have 2 positives in IL, none in AL, 1 positive in skilled, and 1 employee just tested positive that hasn't been here for a few days. She got it from her children. The CDC and the California Department of Public Health are in the process of revising all of the testing guidelines. From this point on, and I'm sure you're all aware already, we do not need to show proof of vaccination to get into the building. We just have to not have a fever and answer the questions. It is the same across the board, all the way across the country. From what I understand, California will be a little bit more stringent than the government. They will still require masking in healthcare facilities, but that will not be a guideline going forward for other facilities. The new bivalent shot is becoming the standard for considering if somebody is fully vaccinated or not. So if you didn't make it to our vaccine clinic, call your pharmacy. Please bring your sheet that says you got vaccinated or your cards to someone at the front desk or even to skilled. We're happy to make sure that you get entered in the system as being fully vaccinated.
Yeah, along that same line, I wasn't here for the vaccination clinic, but I understand that over 160 people received either the flu or the bivalent or both. So it was very successful. The fact that so many of our residents are participating in the vaccination program is the key to the success of the community as far as what we've been able to manage through COVID. So thank you very much for that.
Yes, and our current positive and skilled came from his previous facility and tested positive the first time we tested him. So it shouldn't be a contact tracing situation. So at this point, we're still testing, response testing in skilled nursing. That means twice a week until we have 2 weeks with no positives. All the residents and all of the employees and the employees that cross over are also still tested twice a week. Again, if you have symptoms and the Binax test is negative, we will do a PCR and send it into the lab for confirmation. Only if you have symptoms. And for goodness gracious, anyone with any symptoms of upper respiratory illness, please self-isolate. Don't make us chase you down and tell you you shouldn't be in the dining room if you're sick. Okay? We don't want exposures to anything if we can help it. So let's just all try and keep each other healthy. Okay? Any questions? No? Off the hook. With that, let's hand this over to Molly.
Good morning. I would like to start out by introducing some of our new move-ins if this is their first FYI. So I'm going to start on my left, your right. We have Roy and Lois in apartment 116. If you're comfortable standing up, please do. If not, raise your hand. And then all the way in our back, we have Keith Darby. Keith moved in at the very, very end of August. So this is his first FYI. Moving along the back, we have Max Stern, who moved in earlier this month with his wife, Barbara. Moving along there. And then we have Miss Virginia Lum, who moved in about a week and a half ago. Virginia is in Unit 212. Max and Barbara are in Casita 610. Keith is in Casita 527, and Roy and Lois are in apartment 116. We did have 7 total move-ins for this month. Obviously, everybody is not here, and I'm sure you've met some of the other folks. That brings me into our current census is 152 occupied apartments and casitas. And since we're going right into Q4, I did a little recap of the last 3 quarters. We've got a total of 29 move-ins from January 1
That's really incredible.
to essentially 10/1. That 22 move-outs for a variety of reasons. That does include people who have moved over to assisted living or out family, whatever the case may be, meaning that we netted 7 on the census standpoint from, again, 12/31 or January 1. We have 4 pending move-ins from October 1st to, I think, right now on the books is November 7th is the last one we have planned. Obviously, Mark and I are feverishly trying to add to that number. Our availability right now is I have 1 apartment on notice. I have 2 casitas, two bedroom casitas available and 2 1-bedroom casitas available. So 4 total casitas available. We have interest in the 2 bedrooms and in some of the 1 bedrooms. So I'm hoping that the next time I'm talking to you or in the weekly letter, I'll be able to decrease that number. And then 13 apartments available. That isn't counting the 1 on notice. So that is my kind of data dump for you. We will be hosting a marketing event tomorrow in this very room. I know we have some of you who are signed up to be table hosts. As always, we would love to have table hosts for every single table. So if you're interested, please let Mark or I know. I know some of you have had the opportunity to meet Andy, our new move-in coordinator, so you can let any of the 3 of us know, and we certainly appreciate all the support you give all the sales team on a daily basis. So thank you so much. Any questions for me? Yes, Mr. Burrows.
I haven't met the new move-in coordinator. Could we meet that person?
What I will do, yes, you can meet that person. So I'll find, I'm not hiding her. The next kind of big commute, she's right now with a new resident doing paperwork, or I'd go grab her right now. The next big kind of event we're doing, I'll get with Vanessa on it. I'll make sure she's there so that she can meet everybody. And we'll probably have her come into the deck. You see Mark and I in the dining room at night pretty regularly, so we'll have her tag along with us so she can start meeting some of you.
What's her name?
Her name is Andy.
Andy?
A-N-D-I. Last name is Medina.
Where is this being held? Tomorrow?
Nothing's being held tomorrow. I'm going to bring Andy, our move-in coordinator, to one of the next big events that Vanessa has planned on the community life calendar so that more folks can get an opportunity to meet her. Because of her position, residents who have lived here don't tend to get to meet the move-in coordinator that frequently, but I want everybody to, know everybody in the sales department. So we'll make sure we get her out and about in kind of in front of everybody a little bit more, so I apologize for that. Any other questions related to move-in, census? Just a little quick, just to add on assisted living, we currently have 29 apartments in assisted living occupied. We have 2 units reserved, and I think 2 or 3 more that are getting close to reserving. We are running some, you may see them in our ads on the internet or on our print media ads, some incentives to increase assisted living census. So if you know anybody who is interested in assisted living from the outside community, please let Mark or I know, and thank you. Lori. I'll be Lori. Lori and Vanessa. Well, I'm going to skip Craig and go to Lori. He won't mind. Well,
Later.
Lori and Vanessa are at a job fair Yeah, the Fantasy Springs Casino, there's a big job fair for the Valley being hosted. So Vanessa and Lori are there kind of trying to entice folks to come on and work for us. I know there are several people kind of in that middle ground of hiring, waiting on clearances. All the director level positions are full. So we're working on we did have a new cook that started with Sal. So last week we had a cook that started and a new waitress start. I know some of you have met her, Maria, in the dining room. So she had a couple days off in there. So, you know, there is a new face in the dining room that we are excited about. But other than that, obviously, we still have our sign-on bonus incentives for different positions. We have the quarterly bonuses for server staff. So, you know, I know Lori's trying to get out there and involved in as many outreach things we can do to entice folks to come work with us. And I know that she and the rest of the directors that are hiring are going to have dedicated days where anyone can walk in, get an interview, and get hired, you know, pending obviously all the approvals and background checks, so that we can try to shorten the hiring process as much as possible. Well, now you have to listen to Craig. I don't want to give the phone system update, so that's all you.
Hey everyone. I really wanted to not make another boat joke. But the phone system, we're still looking probably at least 60 days out. We have about half of the equipment has been delivered, not here, but to our corporate office. The other half they're still waiting on. Once they get all of it, they have to do all their wonderful things to it before it comes to us. And we are not the only community, Watermark community, that is switching phone systems. So again, 60 days out at least. So if you haven't switched over yet and are still planning to, you still have time, but just know that it's hopefully sooner than later, but again, we're looking at about 60 days out. Let's see. Where are we at? So you did human resources. I'll do community life. Okay. I will be community life. I have to be a little shorter.
Get more hair.
Boy, I really would like to respond to that. The truth is the truth. At this point, I'm happy with what I got. We do have an update on LifeLoop. The integration of the system with the Spectrum has been approved. Yay! So now at this point, we are waiting for the actual scheduling of the integration. But apparently all of the, whatever was going on behind the scenes, and I won't confess to knowing all of it. There were issues with Spectrum. Apparently all of those have been resolved. All the equipment is here. Now it's just a matter of getting the people in to schedule it, and Vanessa needs to undergo some additional training as well. What do you know on the community tour behind the scenes? I will turn some of this back over to Molly because she knows more than me.
Only on that. The community tour kind of behind the scenes, it was suggested that we get back on schedule with some of our behind the scenes or community refresh tours. And it was again suggested that we do it by section of the community. So on the calendar, the monthly calendar and the highlights and on LifeLoop, Vanessa is going to, for example, this coming Wednesday, this is a fake date I'm giving, more of an example, Mark will be retouring the clubhouse and casita area. So if you would like to retour a specific area of the community, keep an eye out for that on the calendars or the LifeLoops. You know, some of us have lived here quite some time. I forget where stuff is sometimes too. So if you want a refresher of specific questions about that, I know that the behind the scenes kitchen tours were very popular many moons ago when I was back there, and I think there's some interest in bringing that tour back. So once Sal gets a little more settled and things rolling, they'll advertise a behind the scenes, if you've ever wanted to see what's happening behind those swinging doors in the dining room to the kitchen, adding that back to the calendar for that. So I would say keep an eye out for that. The one big change is we're going to be doing specific sections of the community at a time as to not feel too overwhelming to do everything all at once. Do you want me to talk? Oh, my name's there. The doors to the, yes, Joanne, sorry.
There is a tour of the community on YouTube. Chad Johnson did.
Yes, so there is a YouTube that former resident Chad Johnson did a very, very in-depth behind the scenes tour, behind and in front of the scenes tour of the community. So if you ever wanted to watch that on YouTube, you're obviously more than welcome to watch that. Doors to the Future event. So Vanessa and Ron this is their brainchild for many, many months. They're doing a Doors to the Future event. The kickoff is October 8th. That's Saturday. So obviously more information will come out about it. What we did is, with all the construction that I do around here, we have, we're switching out doors and whatnot, and we decided to partner with some local students who were art students who were interested in creating a mural of what they want their future to be on a door, so on a full-size door. They're doing a mural. Now, it can be paint, whatever media they want to use on the door, and then they're providing us a little description about them and about their door and kind of what they see in their future. These doors are going to be set up in the courtyard around the community for kind of a walking art tour that's going to be held for the whole month of October. We are doing a small scholarship for the students that are entering their art and their story into the program. So the scholarships will be via Watermark for Kids. So your quilting raffle tickets and all the monies that are donated, the big jug of money at the front desk, that's what the money that you're donating goes to. There's 3 different scholarships. I don't even want to give out the denomination value because I'm not 100% sure on them. So that's going to be coming out. You probably will see ads about that. We're going to, it's open. We're inviting the whole community. If they would like to meet with Mark or I to tour it, they're more than welcome to. So that, I believe we have 10 or 12 doors. So it'll be a really nice, exciting thing on our kickoff event. That's Saturday. There'll be, refreshments, appetizers, beer, wine, everything like that. So we encourage everybody to come out for that, hoping that that Saturday is not too warm. I'm hoping we're starting to go the other way with the heat. I think Alex, you're up.
Molly?
Let's hope nobody else. Yes.
We would be providing a scholarship for someone who does not live at the Carlotta.
Watermark for Kids is going to be giving scholarships to the folks who entered doors, the students who painted doors and entered doors are going to be eligible for the scholarships given via Watermark for Kids. So it has nothing, not with this. This is not in lieu of or involved with the resident scholarship committee. It's a completely separate thing.
Thank you.
No problem. Yes, Pamela.
My question is about the phone system.
Oh, good, correct.
So it never was clear to me for a while that the new phone system also meant to replace mainly the phone system for the staff in different areas, and that because the old system doesn't work, you can't leave a voicemail wherever it is. And I had a thing come up a couple weeks ago where I had a dental emergency that meant that I was going to miss a physical therapy appointment, and I tried to reach Christy, but there's no way. So anyway, something could be even worse than that, and it doesn't seem like there's any system for us being able to reach any of you. in lieu of the fact that the system that was supposed to be the way, which to leave a voicemail, doesn't work. I mean, I think yours does.
No, I wish it did.
Well, there's a number on the website that.
So the number, okay. The number on the website, or if you see ads or websites or anything like that with marketing, we have designated numbers so I can track how well our efforts are. And there is a voicemail system for that.
Well,
If you leave
if you look up the website for the Carlotta, it's given us the phone number of the Carlotta.
Yeah.
But it's really it's your phone. It's not the desk.
It's a different, there's like 7 different lines that run through the front desk. So that number runs through the front desk. The only true way right now, I would say, if somebody is not in their office and you cannot get a hold of them and you need to give them some kind of a message, I would say either an email works really, really well. I know how fast I answer emails. I certainly couldn't speak for everybody else. Or a message, a verbal message with the front desk that they can write a note. We're going a little bit antiquated. I know that.
For at least the next 60 days.
Yeah, that unfortunately, that would be the to speak to a real live human being to leave a message.
Or leave a message.
Because you can't leave a message. Yes, we're all frustrated.
But in 60 days we will.
Craig, in 60 days?
We're keeping our fingers crossed. Sooner the better.
I think Ron secretly planned a dental appointment.
When you covered human resources, we were going to hear from Mike and Sal.
We are, and I'm going to save that for the end. Keep
Okay.
everything fun and everybody engaged.
Okay, thank you.
I promise you I'll let Mike and Sal talk. Any other questions, phones, messages? Okay. I will turn it over to Alex about the cushions and all other maintenance related things.
Hi everyone. Good morning. So the first thing on the agenda is capital budget items. So I don't have the full list with me, but I will compile one and give the comprehensive list during our next Building and Grounds Committee so that we can get that all over to you guys. But some of the things that I remember off the top of my head when the owner group and Ron, Nestor, and myself, we walked and we agreed on some budget items that are going to be implemented next year. We're going to be painting the entire facility, so the entire community. Yeah, that's going to be included in that budget. We're going to be doing interior wall coverings, so some of the things that you all noticed and wallpaper, some little details here and there in the hallways, that's going to be included in the budget. We're going to have an auditorium revamp. So this auditorium is going to get revamped. Probably just some wall coverings, a different coat of.
What about the sound system?
The sound system?
Yeah.
I don't know if that was included, so I will double check with the owner group and check with everybody involved to see if that's something.
Your
that can be
mic's not
included.
working.
Oh, it's not working?
It is now.
Now it's working, okay. So I'm not sure if the sound system, that's a clear example, right? Some fun stuff, we're going to be getting a popcorn machine for the front. And a possible water feature for the front lobby. That's still up in the air. But I will get the full list to the Building and Grounds. I will be getting that comprehensive list of the Building and Grounds so that we can all see what's on that list. Next on here is patio cushions. So we have finally gotten all of the patio cushions here. They have not gotten replaced. My goal is to get those replaced by the end of next week. I'm a little bit short-staffed, which brings me into, I'm going to jump a little bit ahead, just because I said that, to the work orders and the 24-hour notice. I know that's still an ongoing issue. I have I'm short a couple of staff members right now. I have interviewed a couple, and I have some in the pipeline, so I'm hoping to get some job offers to them by the end of this week, and we can get them on board so we can help resolve some of that 24-hour notice, which is the goal that we want to have. When you submit a work order, we want to be able to reach out to you or schedule within 24 hours whatever issue you may have. And then, as you may all have seen, the gate clickers. We've been having issues with the resident gate clickers. And the communications didn't go out to everyone. I understand we got the message out to people in IL, but we didn't get it to people in the casitas. So we apologize for that, but we'll just say here, we had a receiver in the front gate that was replaced, and that made a lot of clickers not work. So the solution was you turn in your clicker to the front desk, you take it, we'll give you one that's programmed to open that front gate. I think we've got most of them.
What's the clarification? Where's the front gate?
The north resident gate, so the one that's all the way in, the clickers don't work for the front gate, they don't work for the maintenance gate, or the
north.
so just for the north gate, north resident gate. So if you still have a remote that does not work, please turn it in to the front desk. We are working to get more clickers that are programmed. We currently run out of our supply. Automated Gate System, who is our vendor to program those remotes, will be out here by Friday to program the last batch of remotes, and we should have plenty to replace the last bit that are still out there. Any questions on, I know I covered a few things. Yeah.
Ron wanted me to clarify. So when we say everybody who has a clicker will get a new clicker if they're clicker, everybody that is currently a resident of the Carlotta that has a vehicle that has a clicker that doesn't work will get one. So if you have taken it upon yourself to make it easy for other people who are not residents of the Carlotta to get into the building, not via the AccuShield and through the resident gate, we will not be replacing their clickers. So if you live here and you have a parking spot in a car, and if you fell under the name where we have to provide all that information to us, and your clicker is not working, be more than happy to give you a new clicker once we have clickers to give. Unfortunately, I cannot give a clicker to every single family member that you have because they don't want to wait at the gate. Sorry.
Thank you for that clarification. Yeah, anybody with questions of what I covered so far? Yeah, Pat.
When you were talking about the capital budget,
yes,
and refurbishment of things, that's really good news. But
yes.
I have a question about some refurbishing of the small east lobby, and how do I talk to you or to the building and maintenance?
No, you can bring that up to me. So
okay.
I have communication with Will Tower, with all parties involved, with everyone that makes those decisions.
It's not a big lobby, but I figured there's probably 15 or 20 residents that's
sure.
our main thing. And I had a thing come up with a friend last week who checked in the front and then drove her car around to the guest parking and came in through that lobby, and it's really sad looking. The car.
Which lobby is this?
It's the
East lobby. Okay, that's something I can definitely bring up. The budget isn't finalized, but again, I don't have the last say on that, but I will bring it up to that committee.
Brighten it up and
sure.
put some more lights in it.
Go ahead.
Alex, another question. Once you finish additional staffing on your maintenance group, we will be covered with a maintenance person on the weekend?
Yes, we will. So that is one of the reasons why we have minimal coverage, sometimes no coverage on Saturdays.
Yes.
The people that I'm hiring, I want them to strictly have weekend availability, so I can have at least one person, but not, ideally 2 people on weekends as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now moving on to, all right, go ahead.
This is a little, the rocking chairs out by the fire pits need to be cleaned. They've got bird stuff all over them.
Gotcha. I think one of those chairs are, we got cushions for those, so we'll replace those cushions, but before we do, we'll make sure we get those cleaned up.
Okay, thank you.
That brings me to scalping and reseeding. So I walked with our landscaping Umberto, and we may be foregoing scalping and seeding this year due to the Coachella Valley Water District implementing very strict water restrictions this year. We're still seeing whether or not that's going to be beneficial for us or what alternatives we can take. But we have a meeting with Ron, myself, and Umberto to discuss what we'll be doing going forward. So it's not ruled out, but I want to let you know that there's a possibility that it won't be done.
Alex?
Yes.
What is the downside to not scalping?
So if we don't scalp and reseed, we will have yellow grass.
Yes.
So welcome to the desert. But we will see what alternatives we have at our disposal so that we have at least something nice to look at when we're outside. And then we've got
Spray paint.
spray paint is we've got the wellness placards versus the aerial checks. I'm still partnering with wellness on getting a training schedule. We still need to have who's going to be monitoring this system. Now, if you guys don't remember, the aerial checks are those, the little buttons that you have in your restrooms or the living room or wherever you may have them. There's a little check button on top of there that you can use to check in so that it'll tell our system that you've checked in for the night instead of using those placards. So we're going to be next month doing training on that. We're going to assign, or I'll partner with Helen and Mike to see who we're going to have assigned to monitor that system so that it's in place. And then our October disaster prep month. So we're going to be having some training next month to make sure that all residents and staff are aware and know what to do in case of disaster, fire, earthquake. So be on the lookout for that. It'll be on the calendar. And if we're not able to get on the calendar, I'll mention it during the Building and Grounds Committee so that we can get that communication out to everybody.
And I think we have the great shakeout is the 20th.
Okay,
So.
perfect. I didn't have that on my calendar. Great shakeout on the 20th. Any questions on anything that I went over just now? I know it was a lot to go over. Any questions? Awesome. So I will give it over to Mike.
Thank you, Alex. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Mike.
Hi, nice to meet you. Is this on?
Yes.
Okay, so I am Mike Salcedo. I am your new wellness program director for independent living. And the first thing that I wanted to do is just give you a quick background about myself. I'm a veteran of the U.S. Army. I served for 8 years. I have tours in Germany, combat tours in Iraq, and service in North Carolina with the 82nd Airborne. So hello to all of my brothers and sisters in arms if you're in the room. I also plan to be very active with our Veterans Day celebration that we have coming up in November. Ways to get in contact with me, unfortunately, until we get our phone service up and running will be through the front desk. Please pass the message on. They will in turn email me, and I will go ahead and respond accordingly. Another way to get a hold of me is if you see one of our caregivers or med techs in the halls, reach out to them. They can get a hold of me. Also, better yet, swing by the wellness office if it's not too difficult for you. Knock on that door. I am usually in that office from 12 o'clock until 4 o'clock. My morning hours are spent on campus visiting other guests and attending to their needs. So you may also find me walking around in the morning on campus. To go ahead and let you know about my availability, I am off on Sundays and Mondays, so Tuesday through Saturday I will be here for you. In the event of an emergency on my day off, our assistant living director, Miss Helen Kim, will go ahead and take that message for me, and we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and take care of your needs. Now, I kind of jumped around a little bit. I did tell you that I was a veteran of the Army. My last place of employment was with the Department of Veterans Affairs. I've worked there for a considerable amount of time. I have experience in risk management, quality management, patient safety, oncology, hematology, palliative care, and hospice. So I have a varied skill set. I'm a licensed vocational nurse. I've been nursing for about 10 years. I attended Kaplan College in North Hollywood. I am currently wrapping up my degree in public health with emphasis in healthcare administration, and should be done with that in April. So what I wanted to talk about was our wellness center, and it's not just a place that you'd want to come to when something is not right with you physically or you're not feeling well. We'd like to emphasize mindfulness and whole health. One of the things that I will be doing with the activities department, Vanessa, is making sure that we focus on mindfulness and whole health well-being through classes that are already being implemented. Some of those are yoga, meditation and use of our meditation room, healthy choices through dining services, preventive education as far as how do you prevent yourself from getting a cold, catching COVID, proper hand washing techniques, things of that sort, and also health promotion, things that you can do to be more healthy. I'd also am going to implement a monthly mixer with Mike. It will be just a lighthearted event, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, just to touch bases and say hello. I'd like to make myself available monthly to anybody that has any questions or concerns can go ahead and get a hold of me. I will also be implementing a monthly bulletin through the activities department. That monthly bulletin is going to focus more on health promotion, so you may find de-stressing techniques, contacts for supportive services within the local community, recipe here and there, and things of that sort. Every month we will also focus on a specific body system. For the month of October, we will focus on breast cancer awareness. For November, we will focus on prostate health. I will also be submitting weekly updates for your newsletter, and that is going to be more facility-based with the independent living program and things that we have going on at that time. Does anybody have any questions at this time?
Welcome. Yes, welcome. Just actually, you said the wellness program for independent living. Is that just having seminars and things, or?
I never did hear back from my line about what is the wellness program or assessment.
Our wellness program is a comprehensive program that focuses on whole health and health promotion. So we are your go-to if you need help with coordination with your provider's office, you have any health-related questions, you need, let's say, somebody to come take a look at you and advise you whether or not you should see your provider because you're not feeling well. Those are the services that we offer. Let's say you have symptoms of COVID by chance, and you think you may have come in contact with somebody. Contact the wellness office, and I will go to your apartment or casita and administer that test for you. So we're just a comprehensive program for health promotion and well-being. Just think of us as your go-to.
Is there a separate number for that to contact the wellness office?
Yes, there is extension 7773. However, our voicemail isn't set up, so the best way to get a hold of us or get a hold of me is through the front desk, and they can pass on an email. Any other questions? Yep. Okay, at this time we'll go ahead and give it over to Molly.
Wonderful, Mike. We are excited for Mike and all the things he has planned for the wellness department. And to wrap it up, I would like to introduce Sal. So Sal, can you come on up and kind of give us an intro to yourself and your plans for the dining department?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It is a pleasure to be here, part of your life. You are going to see me almost every day. My name is Carlotta Herrera, I'm Salvadorian. My background is I was a farmer in my country. And I came to the United States 34 years ago.
Closer.
Oh.
From where?
That's it. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I say my name is Salvador Herrera, I'm Salvadorian. My background background in my country, we were farmers, and I came to the United States 34 years ago. Today, 34 years. Yes.
Okay, 34 years.
My background is, I started as a dishwasher in the United States. Dishwasher, prep cook, pantry cook. I went for the training in the restaurant business until I became a kitchen manager, and then I became an executive chef. I spent since 1988 to 2000, I would say July 2010 in restaurant business. And from August 1st, 2010 until now, I am retiring homes. So if I had to wash dishes, I do it. Cook, I have no problem to do it. I'm not running to the White House. I'm not here to promise you something and not doable. I am here to try hard to please the majority with your expectations. And your suggestions are very important to me. I started working in this type of business for Holiday Retirement, Hawthorne Group, Sunshine Retirement, Bluebell, Sunrise, MBK, Kisco Senior Living, and I've been learning from everyone. I am here for you. It is a pleasure to be your chef, and I'm here to hear from you all your concerns, all your complaints, all your suggestions, and all your desires. Moving forward, right now I'm in the process to learn the community and to learn the residents, to learn my staff. But moving forward, I would love to have a weekly meeting with the food community so we can sit down and talk about the menus and all your concerns and all your suggestions. I'm here for you. I'm very open. I don't have a problem to hear your complaints. Not at all. I am here to work with you and succeed with you, because at the end of the day, my biggest reward is going to be smiling at the dining room. Thank you very much, and I don't want to take much. I know you didn't see it for quite a bit, so thank you again.
Thank you, Sal. Any questions, comments, anything that we didn't cover or clarification on anything? Yes.
Question about the movie theater. I noticed they don't post movies anymore. Are we not showing movies, or what's?
The short answer is we are, but Alex has the more explanation on that.
Well, the reason we're not posting is you notice, if you have not noticed, there's no plexiglass on the marquee. So that plexiglass broke, and it's been pretty tough to get a replacement for that because it's a really unique size, but I can say it's been put on order. We got a custom fabricator to make it. As soon as it comes back, we'll put it back on there and we'll start posting the movies that are playing again. So, yes?
Movie is scheduled at 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And that's rather inconvenient because you're either going to come down and eat and that's the movie time,
right,
or you go and eat and go to the movie.
Well, I'm not the one who decides movie times, but we will bring it to Vanessa's attention to see if we can move the movie times. But I can't speak to that. But we'll get the information over to Vanessa.
Okay.
Cool. Yes. Oh, you have a question for Sal?
What do these little letters on the menu mean? H, B, and what does that mean? Before the... What's the question?
We can't hear.
I don't really want to talk about menu at this point.
No, the little letters. I don't know what they mean.
I know. At this point, because I'm still in training. I don't want to give you the wrong information because I want to earn your respect. And the best way to earn your respect is speaking with the truth. And at this point, I don't have the right information for you. Maybe Mali is able to answer your question.
But what do these H mean? Do you know?
Yes. So the menu system, I know the menus may look a little bit different than they had in the past. That's because they put me back in charge of printing them. So I found the one that looked right to me, and here we are. The kind of heart healthy. So the quote unquote better choice via the Crandall menu system. So for example, steamed broccoli would have the heart healthy opposed to the macaroni and cheese. So it's just an indicator for heart healthy.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, Max. And Ellen will be getting you next.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to try to catch Alex while he was still up there.
Oh, I can make him come back up here.
I just wanted him to explain the meaning of the wellness placards and the aerial checks.
So the wellness placards it's a system that we currently have in place where you put your wellness placard on the outside of your door. What's the schedule?
10.
10? Oh. So the wellness placard is kind of like a do not disturb sign, except meaning the opposite at a hotel. In the casitas, it's a blue placard, and in the apartments, it's a tan colored placard. You have to put the placard out by 10 p.m. and remove it by 10 a.m. If these things don't happen, there's steps that Mike's team, the wellness team, would take to ensure that you're safely asleep or safely awake, depending on the time of day. So we're going to transition away from that system to what we call our aerial system. In your bathrooms, there's going to be pull stations. On the pull station, there's a little button with a check mark. So Alex is going to be doing training with the wellness team, so Mike's team, to monitor that system where instead of having to put a placard and take a placard away, you would simply go into the restroom in your casita or apartment of your choice and press the check mark to indicate that everything is A-okay with you at that point. You would do that by 10 a.m. and by 10 p.m. So the structure of the program is essentially the same, just the delivery is a little bit different. Did that make it less clear or more clear? Well, good. Ellen, I know you had a question. I didn't want to skip you.
On the new menu, there's a small letter H.
Right.
But it's in odd places. It can't stand for healthy because it's with crackers and beverages.
I think the problem is it does stand for H. I think that, yes, I noticed that. That's why I found a different way to print it that doesn't have the H on it. Because I think that the spacing on the computer screen, it's in the correct place, and then when you print it and copy it and change the orientation, it messes it all up. And unfortunately, the system doesn't allow us to go, it's a non-editable form, so I couldn't go in and move it if I wanted to. So we're just gonna remove the H from the equation, unless it's in the spelling. Yeah, no, because crackers and soda probably aren't healthy. I apologize, I'll take ownership of that confusion, I apologize for that. Lucy, did you have a question?
That kept me awake at night, didn't it, you?
How come we didn't get our weekly menus this week?
Because I made the mistake of asking somebody to do it and then not making sure it got done. So I'm going to put them out. My goal is to have them out Friday by 4 p.m. before I walk out the door. If not, we're going back to getting them. We're going to take it back to when I used to do it, because that's the only way I know how to do it is to getting them out by Friday so that everyone can plan their lives accordingly for the following week.
Will there be a menu for the brunch?
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
And Pamela, I saw your hand.
Oh, I was just going to follow up on the thing about the wellness, and so that if you don't push the button, they'll notice and come check.
Right. Don't start pushing the button yet.
I mean, I've got to train staff first.
Don't push the button and expect anything to happen that way. So that system, it's just going to make it to where you're not having the little placards and stuff like that. And I know Alex will train everybody on wellness to the who, what, whys, and when, and where of it all. Yes, Fritz.
Will it be obligatory to go into the aerial system, or can you stay on the placard system?
No. Once we transition, everybody's going to do it one way. So right now everyone's doing placard. Once we fully transition, everybody will do the button check.
When do you expect that to be?
That is one thing I'm not in control of.
I would need to partner first with Mike.
I think it's on the priority list. My request would be that we get it up and trained and we go live with it.
Let's say before the
early
end of
November.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we will have a date that the program is going to start on the October FYI.
Yes. That's fair.
We probably will be doing some dress rehearsal with certain residents to check the system. So if you're interested in working with Alex and the wellness team in the training portion of it, please get with Alex and you can be a test set. Yes, Mr. Panic.
Will the pole chain still work on the aerial system?
Yeah.
Currently,
So
that's separate and apart from the check system.
Right. So the pole or the large button is like emergency, I need help. The check is I'm good.
Yeah, they have.
So the three ways of alerting the system are different. They're not all. Yeah. So please, when we implement the check system, pulling the cord will not. You will have people running to you. Yes.
Once you push the check button, is there a light, or what if we push it twice or 3 times?
I would almost guess that just like if you press your pendant, if you have your pendant upside down and you press it, a red light flickers to know that it's been activated. There's a red button next to the check. I feel fairly comfortable out on this limb that once you press it, it's red. And then that transmits to the computer system that's at the assisted living desk that has somebody there 24 hours. And they'll be able to visually see if by, at 10:01, we'll check and go, these people are on the naughty list, and then we'll go about our check.
How can we be sure that our pull chain is working?
Well, Mike's not in here, but pull it.
No, just if you push that check or it's got a little computer.
So if you push the check, if I go into the public restroom and push the check right now and the red light guns, that means my system is activated. Yeah. So you can press, if you're just curious if the pull system in your bathroom is working, just kidding, please don't pull the cord. You can press the check, and if it's a small light, but if the red light illuminates, that means your system is operational. If you check it and there is an issue, contact the front desk and let them know you're not sure if yours is operational. Yes?
Our system in our casita is cooking. It has never worked correctly. Even before the equipment came in, it was alerting
So Alex will have to come.
That'll be a work order.
That would be a system anomaly.
Check it out.
Okay.
And if we got to replace it, we'll.
Because every now and then the doorbell rings like it's an emergency, and we can't hear what's going on.
She has a specific issue with her system that she's talking to Alex about. Any other general questions for the group? Well, thank you very much for your time. I know we went a little bit long today. I appreciate everybody. Happy almost October. I'm sure we'll have all sorts of fun Halloween things coming up. So thank you.